Title: Update 2. My fiancé requested an open marriage, so I ended the relationship. I experienced a wave of regret. Maybe I should have read it later. That day my fiancé came to visit me at my office. Hello everyone. We're back with another update from last night's story. For those following, it's about my fiancé wanting an open marriage. She claimed her therapist encouraged this idea to balance things out since she felt I had more past partners than she did. Here's the latest update, Update 2. If you're familiar with this story, feel free to skip ahead using the timestamp in the description. But if not, I'll play the video from start to finish. So let's dive into it. 2 weeks ago we were on the verge of our wedding. She wanted me to join her for a therapy session. She was already seeing a therapist on her own and suggested we have a session together to be completely honest with each other before the wedding. This struck me as odd since I thought we were already transparent, given we were getting married in 2 weeks. Also, she was very secretive about her therapy sessions, and I had never met her therapist. Suddenly being invited to join felt out of place. The day of the session arrived, and I went, but out of caution, I had my phone recording the audio. My fiancé was already there, and I had to wait 20 minutes before being let in. The therapist greeted me, shook my hand, and said I wasn't at all how my fiancé had described me. Then, she told my fiancé that this might be harder than we thought. This statement was unsettling, but I stayed calm and maintained a neutral expression. The therapist then gave a speech, which I won't repeat, and my fiancé took my hand as the therapist explained that we live in a modern world and my fiancé wanted a non-traditional marriage moving forward. I smiled, unsure of what that meant. I assumed it was about modern values and female empowerment. However, she meant that after marriage, she wanted the freedom to sleep with other men, while I was expected not to do the same, as she would be too heartbroken knowing I found another woman attractive or that someone might steal me from her. They spoke confidently, probably encouraged by my lack of reaction, as if this had been rehearsed. I then asked the therapist if she was licensed. Her response was not what she expected, and she confirmed she was licensed. I told her to explain to my fiancé why the wedding and our relationship were over immediately. I left the office feeling satisfied with my decision. Now, I want to report the therapist. I'm unsure if I should report her to the clinic or a board overseeing therapists. I believe there might have been an attempt to corner me, and I want her held accountable for her actions. To be clear, even if my fiancé wanted a completely open marriage where I could also sleep with other women, the outcome would have been the same. I would not tolerate such a marriage. I now suspect she might have cheated on me. Certain inconsistencies have become clear to me. I reviewed the recording and am still astonished by what was said. I canceled the wedding and ended everything with her. I'm generally easygoing and conflicts are rare in my life. My ex might have perceived me as someone easy to walk over, but she was mistaken. After listening to the recording, I'm confident the therapist recognized I wasn't how my fiancé had described me. Now that the wedding is off, people are starting to ask questions, and I'm uncomfortable with how to respond. I'm sure my ex is trying to control the narrative, but I have the recording as leverage. If she goes too far, I won't hesitate to share what was discussed. My family also wants answers, and I'm unsure how to address their concerns without sounding foolish. My ex is also bombarding me and my family with calls, insisting we can work things out and that it was the therapist's idea. I have canceled everything, including the loan we were seeking for a house. I have severed all financial and other ties with her. Her current excuse is that she exposed her insecurities about our sexual history during therapy, which led the therapist to suggest leveling the field. Regardless of the truth, I intend to report the therapist once I figure out the proper procedure. This post is mainly a rant, but I'd like your advice on how to handle questions from friends and family. My ex might be spreading lies about me, calling me weak and a pushover. I want to avoid getting caught up in a he said she said situation. I know she's likely portraying me negatively, but I've been straightforward and truthful. My focus is on moving forward and not dwelling on her attempts to manipulate me. I recently discovered that my fiancé was not interested in a monogamous relationship, which was a deal breaker for me. I'm glad I didn't become a doormat. If she's spreading falsehoods, I'll consult a lawyer before making the recording public. Keep the recording safe and secure. It might be necessary to use it if needed. I realized that the therapist's constant use of we instead of your ex or your fiancé during the session was manipulative. It became evident that the therapist and my fiancé had a shared agenda. I'm now considering legal action, but I'm uncertain if I have a strong case. The other individuals who had similar experiences with the therapist supported my claim. The clinic is taking my complaint seriously, possibly due to the thorough documentation. I'm waiting to see the outcome. My decision to cancel the wedding and end the relationship was firm. My ex tried to manage the situation, but I wasn't interested in negotiating terms. When my ex showed up with her parents to discuss the situation, I felt it was too late. They seemed to be either unaware of the full story or were given a misleading version. I took my ex to a secluded part of my parents' garden and told her it was over. She had a breakdown and quit her job due to the stress. She's no longer seeing the therapist. I discovered she had a miscarriage, which added another layer of complexity to the situation. I'm still unsure how to trust her or how to move forward. I asked if she had cheated, and she claimed she had not, though she had the opportunity. We went back to her parents to explain what happened. I didn't mention the recording as it wasn't necessary. My ex confirmed the details I had shared. The therapist is married, attends conferences, and has written books. Despite my anger and frustration, I returned the journal she had given me. I felt she had distanced herself from the situation, placing the burden of resolution on me. In hindsight, I should have been more alert when she started seeing the therapist. She always assured me everything was fine, but her hidden stress and breakdown at work went unnoticed. I now understand that she might have projected her insecurities about our sexual history onto me. I've learned a lot from this experience. My ex's behavior and the therapy session have given me clarity. I'm unsure about meeting her parents again, but will consider it if necessary. For now, I'm focused on moving forward and dealing with my feelings. Let me know your thoughts on this update. I'm not angry, just seeking to understand and handle the situation. If you have advice on how to proceed, especially regarding the therapist, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for following along and providing support through this challenging time.